This is the July 13th, 2022 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is Katie Barron. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati today, and I'll preside over the meeting. The case before us today is case number ZHUV220010. The purpose of the hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. The public will have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. If there's more than one person opposing an application, those persons should decide amongst themselves the length of time each will have to speak. If an opposition group is in attendance, I may request that a spokesperson be chosen to speak on behalf of the group. If the applicant is represented by an attorney, the applicant's attorney may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. If a party of record is represented by an attorney, the attorney for the party of record may present witnesses after the applicant has presented its case and may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to an application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut the testimony and/or argument offered in opposition. After the applicant has been given an opportunity to rebut any testimony and/or argument offered in opposition, any attorney for a party of record will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. Finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. This means evidence you want to introduce that consists of a statement made by a person who is not present at this hearing, or a document that includes the statement of a person who's not present at the hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All right, so we will go ahead and swear in anybody who plans to testify. If you want to raise your right hand and unmute yourself. Well, you'll have to unmute yourself. There you go. All right. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
All right. So we'll start with the applicant. If you want to present your proposal.
Yes. So my name's Megan Meyer. I'm with ABC Signs. This is Molly Haglage, and we are the primary applicant and contractor for this sign project. And today we are requesting a new monument sign for Carson Elementary that is approximately 24 square feet over what is actually permitted. This would include a 24 square foot EMC, as well as a topper cabinet that would be 20 square feet, excuse me. We are requesting this due to the existing sign is quite small. It's very difficult to see. Some of the documents that were submitted include traveling north and south along Glenway. And as you get closer to the sign, it's still even hard to see at that intersection traveling south. So the primary thing here is actually getting the sign to be visible. And the EMC is kind of just to help them, share information with the public and really keep the area more up to date. EMCs have become much more common, and the technology allows us to dim if needed. We can keep certain things static when needed. And luckily, even though this is a residential property, or zoned as residential, I should say, there are actually only businesses that are directly across the street. So the illumination part shouldn't be as much of an issue as it typically would be, considering it's in a residential area. But regardless, that projection of illumination from the EMC would only reach approximately 50 feet. That is from the American Sign Association. So to sum up, we are requesting a larger sign than what is existing, including that EMC. Setback will still be code compliant. We have it currently marked at 15 feet. However, the sign is 6 feet tall, so they do have the option to move that up just a few feet if they would like to do that. But the primary request is for 15 feet from their property line.
Okay. And if they were to move it up, would that make it more visible without increasing the size of the sign?
It would be difficult to do that because it's on a grade. There's a slight hill there, which makes it a bit more difficult, especially when you're traveling north, because the school itself kind of blocks your view. So moving it up there, and this is also a 4-lane street. So having that larger sign available would really make sure everybody's able to see any pertinent information that needs to be shared by the school.
And are there any signs in the area that are comparable in size to what you're requesting?
I'll be honest, I have not verified that. I can absolutely look into that. I do know, generally speaking, the city of Cincinnati area has continued to make improvements and kind of keep up with the times, I guess you could say. So this would kind of continue that, that idea and that full outlook on the community.
Okay. Anything else you want to present before I open it up to the public?
Do you have any minutes?
I think you said it all.
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Walt, do you have anything?
Yeah, we are recommending approval for the portion of the use variance to allow that sign to be there. But we are recommend denial for the size. Under the recommendation, we're recommending that the sign be constructed at the 24 square foot, which is what the existing sign is, with the EMC sign to be no more than 20 square foot. Changeable copy, which is what's permitted in our code. So those are the things that we're recommending a denial, like I said, on the size. And if you look under the allowed portion of it, we have conditions which state the size. It also states that the automatic dimming software should be put on, hours should be limited, and then the sign not change any faster than any 10-second interval. We agree that, and we have in the past and predominantly supported these EMC signs for schools. They are use variants, but all of them to date until just recently were all at the 20 square foot.
Are there any that are larger?
Not that I'm aware of. This is a recent change in size. I'm kind of thinking that maybe Megan can answer this. It's a standard size, that 20 or that 24 square foot sign might be something that's standard that they can purchase off the shelf. Not sure, but and they become less expensive. I mean, the more we use these, less expensive they're going to get. So that my guess is that's why they're going to the larger sign. One of the things that she did state is that visibility from the street. I would point out that that existing sign served the school since 2008 and was effective in communicating their message to the community around them. It is recessed down the hill slightly. If you look at the drawings, it shows where that is recessed down. They are bringing the new sign up almost onto the top of the hill. So visibility is going to be increased significantly. So staff does not feel that the size variance is justified and are recommending denial.
Anything else?
No, that's it. And just, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a hearing for a long time. So
Oh, it's been a while.
I know it's a part-time gig for a while David's out taking care of the new baby, but
Yes.
good to see you. Thanks.
Yes, good to see you as well. All right, Megan, did you want to provide any feedback on that?
I don't think so. Just one little note that I have in my letter, just that the conditions that we meet as far as the use variance goes, you know, as a school, they're unique in that they require that identification and informational signage. I mean, I'm sure they have events. I mean, we all went to school, you know, basketball games, talent shows, all that kind of fun stuff. So that, again, that size would just kind of allow them to really share all that information with the community.
And if I might add also for new students and new families that are moving to the area, it might help their visibility, because those pictures Megan had of the coming up on the sign, it is kind of hidden back there. And just to help, you know, with more welcoming, I think, to new families, and especially the EMC, like, you know, if it might be kind of hard to read if it's smaller or, you know, not as much height. So that's all I would say is just looking at that, coming up on it, it is kind of hard to see from a distance. And so I understand some of the people know, you know, where it's at, but for other people that aren't aware, where, you know, just seeing that sign is going to help, I think, with that. So that's all I had to add.
And then one question I did have, I know Walt had talked about different conditions. It sounds like you've already incorporated that into your plan. Is that accurate, that you were planning to dim it and have the dimming software?
Yes, we are more than happy to specify times. We can dim, we can keep it static whenever needed. That 10-second interval will be more than enough. I imagine they would, most of them end up keeping it for probably at least a minute. So yes, to answer your question in short, yes, we can absolutely add those.
Okay. All right, I don't think I have any other questions. Did you guys have anything that you wanted to say before we close out the hearing?
I don't believe so.
All right, then we will go off the record, and you should expect a decision from me within the next 2 weeks.